All right, we back, man. It's another week more to talk about more on my mind, but let me not be rude to my guests. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am CEO Haze, aka CJ, aka the Red Bearded Assassin, and aka your mama's favorite podcaster.
That's funny. Hey, man, but before we get into more background about you, let's get in the feed.
Question of the week, question of the week, question of the week, question of the week. What? Question of the week, question of the week, question of the week, question of the week.
Hey, man, the question of the week for this week is, how long can you hold off your sexual desires? Because everybody says, hey, you don't have to have X, Y, and Z in a relationship. You don't have X, Y, Z in a partner or somebody you're sleeping with. But me, I've always had that honest conversation with myself and knowing that this person, if they don't get it from me, obviously they're going to want it from somebody else or sooner or later. What are your thoughts on this? Because
that's a difficult conversation because I think everybody's different. There are some people who will be 100% happy if like their partner just says, look, I'm just not into that. And they may not seek it out some other place. But I think that the key thing with a lot of people are they want to see that you try. So even if it's not kind of your cup of tea, if you guys can do it once a month or whatever, sometimes it satiates that. Yeah. And I think that everything has to be kind of meeting. But for if it's something that you know you need and the person is just completely against happening, then that relationship just isn't for you.
I mean, I totally disagree because, again, I did my research on you. Like, you like nice feet.
But no, I like pretty feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's stick with that.
Okay.
What if your girl's like, listen, I like my feet looking like boulders. You just got to get over it. I mean, like.
Then she's not for me.
Exactly. That's my thing. Like, I feel like people say that answer because they don't want to rock the boat. But, I mean, like, I remember the first time I got head. Every bitch after that got to give me head, period. Like, we're not discussing it. This is a negotiation because I don't negotiate with terrorists. It's either you're cool with this or you gone, like, period. Yeah. But I and like in other things, like if if you're the adventurous type and they're the missionary, let's go to bed type, it's like, it's like, where's the middle?
I think and that's the thing is that we live in a world where we think there's always a middle ground. Sometimes there's not a middle ground, and that's when you have to be honest about your boundaries and what you want. Like, for example, this is the thing I always say. Oftentimes, we'll confuse results with the effort someone's putting in. So if we don't see a result, we think they're not putting in effort. That's not always true. Some people can try as hard as they want every single day, and it's just not going to change. You can try to be white every day. Your skin color is not going to change. That doesn't mean you're not trying. You could try, but and I think that we have to. People aren't usually honest with themselves about that on both sides. Like, if you want something, you'll say, "Oh, well, it's okay. I'll get over not getting it." Go ahead.
You know what? I totally agree with you because, like, I used to hate, and thank God, I'm 30, so the women are more mature, more ready to go. But I remember back going over a girl's house, like, oh, well, we ain't gonna do nothing. I said, why the fuck I come here then?
You gotta be honest.
Like, I didn't start on my car for no in particular reason. Listen, man, if I don't leave my house unless there's an 80% of money, prosperity, or pussy somewhere in that day. Like, dead ass. If I can't get one of those, it's like, yeah. But I don't know. What about society makes us repress what we really want?
Well, I think it's good to point out that that's just American society. Like, I grew up in Europe. It's completely different sexually in Europe. Like, people are way more open sexually to have conversations, and because people are more open to talk about sex, it leaves a lot of the gray area out. Here in America, it's taboo. Like, people will look at you crazy if you're on the first date and you say, so do you like getting your ass ate or not? Because I need to know.
I mean,
they in Europe, it's not as taboo with certain, and that may be an extreme type, but people have more open conversations, and they also are more in tune with what they want sexually because they don't feel like they have to repress it.
Okay, I think we kind of tiptoeing into what our main topic is, but I'm a kind of end on this one. Then we're gonna take our break and hop into the big section. I mean, I'm with you when it comes to that, but how can I say this? Not just society wise, I feel like, because again, you've been religious and everything else. Mind frame is everything, because girls literally used to get mad at me like it be that first third date, and they're like, "You talking about sex too soon?" I'm like, "No, we may not like the conversation. Cool, you're cool. I'm just checking off a box here, like dead ass, because like some women, because we're in the South, some women just don't want to talk about it because it's like, well, I'm a lady. Well, I mean that's cool, but I need to know other sides of you. I need to have some real conversations. Do you have any mental issues? Do you have any triggers that could pop up during sex or this relationship? Those are real questions, but it's like, again, most people haven't put in that work to get those answers. So it's like this person who's whole, this person who's broken, this person who's whole, but don't have all these soul searching answers. And it's like, I don't know, it's like a weird little a shift in the box, even though you got the options. If you're a man, straight, and not too many kids, like you really do have the world as your oyster to a certain degree. But as far as, you know, reaching your sexual peak, I don't know what that looks like as a man. As a woman, you can kind of, okay, get your checklist off, have your fun, then maybe seal the deal somewhere down the line. I don't know like how you set up your whole, you know, conquest as a man, besides, you know, sleep with as many women without a STD or a baby. And hell, that's a gamble.
Yeah. I think so. I used to look at it like this, and again, I may get judgment for this.
Okay.
But we're here to be honest, right? So if you're a single person, and this applies to men and women, this is how I look at it. If you are single and you found somebody you want to date exclusively, more power to you. Do that and stay faithful if you can. If you're not, I look at it like this. Just like in baseball, you have a bullpen, you have a starter, you have a closer, you have a couple of people who can come in between. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have vilified that. But if you're single, there's nothing wrong with having somebody who's maybe your main person, somebody who you just are friends with or kick with, and then somebody has a closer that you can call at 2 a.m. like, hey, I need to get these rocks off. Come over. You need that bullpen.
You know what? I'm going to take it a step further. I co-sign that, but I think that needs to go all the way up to marriage, because we can't say that shit just works. Monogamy, whole phase marriage, then happily ever after. That's not everybody's blueprint.
You're right. It's not a linear thing.
And I don't think, and that goes back to the whole man conquest. I don't think, maybe not some, but not all, men have the fortitude to sit up here and say, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want you to be my wife. I want you to have all my kids. I want us to handle all this business. But I need this one chick to handle X, Y, and Z only in our life.
Well,
I don't think most dudes or women got the balls or the tacos to handle have that conversation.
Well, and I think it's important. Monogamy doesn't work for everyone, and that's why people are now starting to figure out that they don't have to be in a monogamous relationship to be happy.
You know what? I'm gonna take it a step further, and I might get flack for this, but I mean, y'all, if you listen to Talkin Greasy, you already ready. I don't see black men as monogamous. Period. I really don't. I know that sounds fucked up. Like, can I do it? Yeah. Do I want to do it? Debatable.
Well, I think it's important. That's your truth, and you're 100% fine with doing. But there are some black men who do want to find their one woman they can come home to and that have their family with, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Yeah. But you have to own your truth, and I think people have so long thought if I don't want to be monogamous, something's wrong with me, and then that's what leads to a lot of other shit. You got to figure out what makes you happy, and then find somebody who fits within their happiness. We try to.
I mean, I hear you, but sometimes, and I know this sounds fucked up, really fucked up. But sometimes you don't find out what you like till you're in this whole single relationship, and you're just with one person, and then you start getting all this certain attention because you're secure, you're not chasing nothing, and a certain type of people is now attracted to you because you're not as thirsty. You are a little bit more calm. You are a little bit more stable, and that brings in a certain attraction to you, because niggas get more women when they in relationships.
Well, that's everyone.
I can't agree with women.
If you see a woman who's happy and because men will look at it as, well, if she can make that nigga happy, then she can do the same for me. So no, it's the same. It's just men aren't as aggressive. Like women will see somebody in a relationship and actively go after that person.
Yeah.
Men will see a woman that's happy in a relationship and say, and more so say, if that nigga fuck up, I'm in there. That's the difference.
You know, I'm gonna have to disagree with you slightly on the men's side. Women's side, I agree with you. And then we're gonna take a quick break. When it comes to men and being the side dude, that's like the prime position, because to be honest with you, I really can't trust women on average. And it's not because, every woman's shitty, every woman's X, Y, and Z. It's just I can't trust that, logically speaking. I'm your quote unquote everything 100%. I'm your good lover, your good financial partner, your good X, Y, and Z, that we can make this last. I don't think those qualities were, one, instilled in us, and two, let's keep it a buck. The 70s, 80s parents, they didn't equip us with that. That was the crack era, so they had their own problems. even if they were self-sustaining people, they had their own issues to deal with in that time that may not have helped their skills transfer over, because we haven't had dads in the household for like 30, 40 years on average, from beginning of the 80s to now. So I mean, you learn different skills after that amount of time.
Well, I mean, I gotta disagree with your first part, saying that dudes are more happy. I especially in what I do in my relationship podcast.
Yes,
I run into more dudes who catch feelings being a side nigga than women that catch feelings being a side chick.
Well, I mean, fair, but women have a bigger sense of narcissist nature, to where it's like, okay, everything I do, good, bad, or indifferent, is to my betterment. And a guy, he's more about, because, you know, we don't, like, just like I said a minute ago, we don't know what we want until maybe we're the side dude, or we solidified and we see other things. We have to see it to want it. Women, whatever they want, get, touch, has to serve them in some fashion on average. Like, the women had that level of narcissism where if it's not building me, giving me something, getting me that nut, giving me something, I don't want it, or keep it around for too long.
I would disagree with that, because when there are more women who are sexually frustrated in relationships, or that stay with somebody and they're not getting what they need off the fact of either comfortability, or they just don't feel like trying to find another nigga.
I mean, yeah, but that don't last as long as people think. I would
disagree. There are people who stay in marriages 20 plus years and have never had an orgasm. If we're just talking strictly about sex, they have never had an orgasm because their man refuses to figure out their body, and they stay in that relationship, that marriage, forever. Then after that dude, they finally get a divorce. Now they're exploring. Now they're out having their whole phase, or whatever you want to call it. So I don't think it's a one size fits all thing for either gender. I think both genders have their different exceptions to every rule. Now, if you want to say generally one thing happens or not, that just depends on your background and your situation and your surroundings. Definitely. But I think that it both can be said on both sides.
Well said. We're gonna go to break. How do you get your end freak? How long can you cut off what you need, and also how do you rebuild after a broken heart sexually? On Talkin Greasy.
This episode is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/greasy. There you'll have access to over 180,000 titles right from your smartphone.
Y'all niggas is lying. It's time to talk that shit.
And we're back on Talkin Greasy. Haze, before we go further, let's give them a background about you. I mean, were you married, divorced, how many kids you have, where you think you at sexually as a man right now at your age, and give your age.
I am 33 years old. I was married for 10 years. I got married super young. Yeah, I was 20. I had just turned 20 when we got married. I was married for a long time. I had 4 beautiful children that all look like me. If anybody has seen pictures of my kids, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. What were your other questions?
My next question was, after all that, being a family man, taking care of your family, whatever, and then the divorce. What happened to you emotionally after that divorce? Because I think there was like a brief break, and then you found a real solid woman. Then that kind of didn't fall off. Can you give us background on that?
I think afterwards, I did the opposite of what a lot of people do after a divorce. Like a lot of people do whatever the fuck they want to because they had to like juggle it for. I did kind of the opposite. Is I took time to really figure out what I wanted. Okay. So I didn't go right into being wild. Cause I had kids too. So and that still had to play a part in it. But I took some time out to really figure out what I hadn't been giving myself because I had to dedicate part of me to somebody else. So I had to figure that out. That's kind of how I found my love of podcasting and videography and photography because I just didn't have the time. So that time that I put into that person, I figured, all right, now let me find my own passions.
Okay.
And so I took time out to do that. And that's why I'm like at the most tranquil I have ever been in my life because I know exactly what I want and what makes me happy.
Okay. Divorce. You come to that realization.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you meet a nice woman, whatever. What kind of, what was the spark between you two? And then we're gonna kind of go into the whole sexual questions, all that. But what kind of sparked you getting back into that relationship with all this liberation, feeling good? You're in your passion. You're in your prime. What made you get back in the relationship? Versus all this freedom you feel.
I think it's because for once, I didn't feel like I needed to be in a relationship. But it was something about this person that I kept wanting to be around them. I kept drawing me to them. And it's like, all right, for once, I'm not like, I'm not tripping off being in a relationship, but I find myself constantly being cool or wanting your company. That says something to me.
Okay.
And so for the first time, it was not out of a hole that I felt like I was feeling with the relationship. It was more out of we're on the same path. Let's walk this motherfucker together.
Okay. But my thing is, cause it's not connecting with me. And then we're going to get to everything else. Okay. Cause you seem like a very solid dude. And unfortunately, these two relationships ran their past.
Mm-hmm.
What were you missing at the time of your marriage that led up to the divorce? And what did this divorce and this relationship, and what did you gain positive out of it?
So I think it's important to realize that I met my ex-wife when I was 16. We were young, and we were two completely and entirely different people that where we started at to where we were. And those two people just no longer aligned. It was no like super big drama or we hate each other or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. It was strictly just where we were now at lives, and the people that we developed into and become weren't two people that got along. We just didn't like each other. And it's not that there's something in it. And I think a lot of times we try to look at like what's wrong with this person. Nothing's wrong with her. She's a great woman. She just wasn't for me and where I was, and I wasn't for her either.
You know what? Because it ain't making sense to me. From no shade, but with the kids, probably good sex, good finances, the house is running the way it's supposed to. Why would all that line up and that person not be for you?
Because those are objects. Like you can find. I truly believe with just about almost anyone, you can find common ground if you guys work towards it enough. And our common ground was our children. And because we had undying love for our children, it made all that other stuff easier. But at the end of the day, when the children are gone, and now like my son's 14, I have a grown child in 4 years. But when the children aren't around, you guys have to be able to get along. If you're just getting along for your children, that's a co-parenting situation. That's not how a marriage is supposed to work. You feel me?
Okay.
So if we're sitting around when the kids are gone, they're off doing their sports or doing their activities, out camping, whatever, and we're sitting in the same room together and we're both looking like, I really don't want to be around this motherfucker with my kids not around.
Okay. Then
that lets you know that something ain't right there.
Okay. Well, let's get to this girlfriend, and then we'll get to the big thing. What again? Because again, I seen the pictures. I seen everything. It looked magical. I was like, damn.
I was
like, damn. Why ain't I?
It was for a minute.
Why don't I feel that?
It was for a minute.
Okay.
It was for a minute.
again, what stopped that? What you contribute to it, and what did you learn, either mentally, sexually, or anything out of that situation?
I learned that there's nothing wrong with the boundaries I have. So, for example, as great as it started off, and I said I wanted to have this person's company, I wanted to do XYZ, that became a crutch. So it became now, oh, well, you wanted my company, I'm gonna become like, when you don't want my company, what's wrong? Something has to be wrong for, like, if I wanted to go out with the boys, that was looked at as a negative thing. It's like, no, it's not necessarily anything wrong with you. I still need my me time. And so when I felt like that was going away,
yeah, but here go. I'm not gonna call it that, but here's crazy woman logic. I mean, if you're not with me, then we're and you're not at work.
And that's the thing.
It's like,
and that's
what?
the thing. People have to realize that as much as when you're in a relationship, it is, you guys become a unit, right? If it's a dedicated relationship, but you're still two individual people, and you have to have that time for you.
I totally disagree slightly, because I think people in general have been trained to think this is my partner, that is my time, my resources, my whatever. We haven't been trained in individuality. In the sense of,
you shouldn't
that person got to be who they got to be, or you can do what you want to do.
You got to have your individual identity in a relationship.
I mean,
no, you have to. You have to have something that's just you. Like, if you look at most relationships that last long, even if it's something that keeps you in the house, people have, like, men will have their motorcycle. Their woman doesn't care about motorcycle, but that motorcycle is you may not even need a lot of time.
I mean, the reason I say that is because I'm thinking, like, power couples, like, their identity is that relationship and what they're doing.
That's what we see in the public.
Okay.
And I think it's important to know, even with Jay-Z and Beyonce, no matter how much, I think we kind of think now, with as much as we do see with celebrities, that's all of their life. We're still seeing a tip of the iceberg that makes up their whole life. We don't know how their day-to-day goes inside the house. Yeah. They have a big enough house where Jay-Z may have a whole branch of the house where he goes to for 20 minutes a day that Beyonce doesn't touch. But that's his me time. That's his personal space, and I think that's important in relationships.
Okay, man. Let's get to the big talks.
Right.
Okay, let's end it, because again, I ain't trying to be in nobody sexual business too much. But I mean, what's your kinks, that now that you're single, everything, the kids are being taken care of, everything good, co-parenting, and you have this lane of freedom. What kinks are you into? What are you for, against? Where's your boundaries?
I don't think we have enough time to unpack all of that, so we're gonna go over the top few.
This nigga nothing no toes, people.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a must. Also, me tying my belt around your neck from time to time is a must as well. So I'm in the slight BDSM. I'm not into, like, the huge, some of the most craziness of it. Yeah, I think that would be my main kink, and that incorporates a lot, and we could break that down for hours, but there's a lot within that.
Okay, how'd you get there? Cause the feet thing, I kind of feel you, cause this girl jerked me out with her feet one time.
Ain't that shit beautiful? Have you ever had a blow job and a foot job at the same time?
Nah,
that's the holy grail, bro.
That's a thing.
Oh hell yeah, they gotta be flexible enough, but yeah, that's the holy grail.
Okay, Google, I will see you soon. But my thing is, okay, logically speaking, because I don't know your body count, none of that other stuff. Where did you pick up these whole kinks and everything else?
It happened slowly over time. I think that there was a time somebody asked me to choke them once, right? Yeah. And so that naturally, like, I was awkward as shit when I first started doing it. Now I have the mindset of, I'm gonna choke you. If you die, you die. That's on you.
Me, I'm sorry. I'm too. Maybe it's where I'm from, because I'm from Dallas. You from? I'm all, because they want to have this whole consent conversation. This whole, you doing too much safety word thing, and I got bad hearing. So man. For real, girls be telling me their whole life story. They be like, "Oh my God," and this X, Y, and Z happened. I be like, "Oh, for real?" Like, I be trying my best to hear what people be saying, but I mean, like, I feel like when you a black man having sex, there's a whole nother rule set. Like me, flat out, I don't sleep with white women because I just don't need the whole, what if she gets angry at me and wants to flip the script on me and, call the cops on me, lie on me type shit, because I don't like sleeping with somebody, whether it be their skin tone or their position. I don't like sleeping with people with too much more power than me. Mm-hmm. Like let's say a judge in the Dallas circuit was like, hey, you want some pussy? I'd be like, hell no, bitch. A police officer lady, hey,
but you know what?
Hey, I'm in the BDSM too. I'm like, okay, they ain't got shit to do with me.
But you know what? Some women who are in power positions like that do like giving up control in the bedroom because they control so much in their day-to-day lives.
I mean, I respect that, but my thing is, I used to be 2 steps, but now due to some of my memory loss, I gotta be like 4 steps ahead of shit. Cause like I said, all it take is she angry at you. You didn't answer that text. She see a picture like you and the girl you dated after the divorce. Like, oh, this nigga happy and shit. Okay, I got you. Bitches love niggas that's happy. Some people. It's something about happiness and freedom and no rules and living your truth that just bothers people, which never made sense to me.
That's a fact.
And again, before we talk about all this other freaky stuff, you were a pastor at one time?
No, I was a deacon, not a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Let's get that.
Okay.
There's a common misconception because people hear you were in church and they automatically go to pastor. I was a deacon, not a pastor.
Okay.
Now I did preach a couple of sermons, but I was not a pastor.
Okay, yeah. My father's a deacon and But anyway, but yeah, I mean, so whoa. So you have to deal with a divorce, finding your own sexual kinks and desires, a wife and the church on your neck. I mean, like, how do you navigate through all that?
I mean, I think like the sexual thing that works out. Like I discovered that over the course of my marriage, so it wasn't like a thing that I had to intentionally go out and seek. It just developed over the course as I matured and grew. But as far as like the church thing, I think that it was important that I didn't go into trying to become religious or find a church. It happened naturally as hell. We walked into a church that we were invited to, and we were at that church until I moved to Columbus.
Okay.
So that happened naturally over time, and I didn't plan on becoming a deacon. It just naturally progressed. So it didn't feel like there was a lot of weight on me with that because it all went according to the speed that it just went at. It was all natural, so it wasn't forced at all. Me coming out of church was because I moved, for one, and also because those ideals that I had after my divorce, I had to realize, all right, maybe that's not how I feel. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Okay, well, let me flip that to a more in-depth question. Your own personal preference. Which woman is worth more of your time personally? This is for you. A woman who's already met her sexual peak, or a woman who's willing to be under you and learn to like what you like, take the time out for you. Which one is more your speed right now at your age?
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's one more over the other. I think that if they identify where they're at, so if I meet someone and they are starting to learn more of their sexual side, I'm fine with that. And if someone comes in feeling like I'm fine with that too. It's all about communication with me at this point. If you are confused about like with whatever's going on in there, then like you can't tell me I'm okay with being choked, and then one day I choke you, and now you flipping out on me like, no, you don't. Like
that's the crazy thing about consent. Like, of course, it's obvious. Like, hey, I consent to having sex, but like moments like that, like, what are you doing? I'm like, you said X, Y, and Z. I don't know, man, because the sex game is so different. I say this all the time. I remember back 2008, eat a little pussy, eat ass on a birthday, you good. Now it's like these women are more demanding, more open, more outspoken, which is good, which is great. Because like I said, I don't want you sitting up here having all these feelings, but you be laying up with your wife. You come home, she fucking more bitches than you. She's strapped and ready for these girls, and it's like, okay, who's this?
Yeah.
My thing is, okay, because again, you had a whole bunch of dope guests on your show. I mean, how can we tell that our woman isn't being fully, maybe not satisfied, but she comes, she enjoys the sex you have, but something's missing? What kind of telltale signs you think most guys just overlook? Because we're not detail based on average.
Yeah,
on
for
average.
Sure. For sure.
Average.
And it's funny. I was just having a conversation about that earlier today.
Okay.
But I think it's just important to have conversation. Like, people are afraid to tell people that they weren't satisfied or that they want more because they think their partner's going to take it as meaning they're inadequate.
No shade. And I noticed this with guys. It be like some borderline ass play type stuff that they don't want to ask for, which is reasonable. Yeah. I don't want nothing foreign in my ass, man. Yeah. On average, the only thing I want back there is a tongue, and that's if your mouth clean, or if you was giving me head and you do the little swoop and like go past it, dick, balls,
Gooch,
ass.
But
yeah. But I mean, girl, like, I be scared of what some of the freaky shit these girls like, because when I tell you, I got more homegirls than homeboys, and let me tell you, I be like, you like X, Y, and Z? Like, yeah, I just want 5 niggas to just keep, running train back to back. I'm like, what? Like, or they be like, you know what? I wanna be a tiger, and I want I want these niggas to be zebras, and I like, whoa, like, I mean, I respect the sexual spectrum, but goddamn, like, that's why I be telling dudes, like, man, if a girl ain't freaky with you, she ain't freaky with you. Cause the stuff I be hearing, I be like, well, why is there so many unsatisfied women though?
Yeah.
Cause on the average, majority of the women I know are just, they willing to go there.
Yeah. I think okay, so it's twofold. I'm not gonna just hold the men over the fire here. Okay. I'm gonna hold the women too, because a lot of times women aren't satisfied because they don't open their fucking mouths. They'll tell their best friend. They'll tell their guy friend. They'll tell everybody else.
God.
They'll tell everybody else, the nigga they fucking what they want.
This nigga spitting.
Exactly. Like,
because I will literally break up with a girl because one, my whole thing with my relationships, if I do have one, is secrecy and respect. Like, if we talk about something, that's our conversation. Unless it get up to, like, therapist level where we need a professional in the middle of this conversation. Keep our business. And if you want something, why tell everybody else besides me?
That's my thing. It's like, if you, for example, this is just me. If you want a thumb in your ass, ma'am, and you telling Tom, you telling Jillian,
I mean,
unless you want them to stick their thumb in your ass, what help is it doing?
Low key, I think women do be wanting that outside dick more than a boyfriend, because, like, I swear, I be like, I've been a side dude before, and I was like, why I know all this and he don't? Yeah. Like
people afraid, that people will talk to everyone but the person they're with, and that's an issue. Like, why? I mean, for everyone, and dudes will do it too. Everyone who does that shit is wrong.
Listen, regardless of gender, I can't do it, because if I like to go to the source of the problem.
Exactly.
I mean, AKA her. But anyway, but my thing is, okay, you said communication is a big deal.
Yeah.
But I kind of got to disagree, because this is what normally happens with some people. Mm-hmm. They're just dating. They're just sleeping around. That one person catch feelings, regardless of gender. Let's try this out. It's a year's worth of relationship. It's ran its course. The field isn't there anymore. They didn't have no real bond besides, hey, there's an attraction here. And then, low key, 1 or 2 years pass, and this dude's ready to quit. She's ready to quit, whatever. Because one thing that I noticed, a lot of people, and shout out to blackgirlsiseasy.com, a lot of people just have placeholders in their life. They don't they don't have real connections with people. Real, like, there's been some people I've literally reached out. Hey, let's just sit down and talk. No podcasting, no videos, no other projects I'm working on. Let's just talk. And they just ain't got the depth for it. Yeah. It's like, if we're not doing X, Y, and Z, if we're not drunk, if we're not fucking, if we're not at work, I don't want to connect with another person. And that's the weirdest shit to me, because this is 2020. It's like we so connected. I didn't know you existed until internet and podcast, and now we sitting up here connecting, and there's so many people. They got a whole network of people they could build with, and they don't never talk to or never try to invest in or nothing.
Yeah. It's people are weird about communication. People really they want to connect, but not really, right? It's all surface level. They want to appear to be connecting without actually connecting. Yeah. And that's just the weirdest shit to me in the world, because it's like
dead ass.
It's I get it to a degree. You can't have deep relationships with everyone you necessarily connect with on social media, but at the same time, like for example, like Dan on Drugs from Black Long Legal Lies, I will randomly send him a message like, "Hey, yo, mental health check-in, how you doing?" You feel me? Me and him will rap, talk about it, and then we may not talk again for a couple of weeks. But it's not just all on the timeline, us retweeting and talking about our episode. It is an occasional, "Hey, I just want to know how you doing, bro. You good?"
Man, and you know what? That's the weirdest shit to me, because like nowadays, you think I'm trying to be funny. If you spit at a girl and you ask her, "Hey, what's your number?" That's weird now. Yeah. They would rather give you Instagram or
DM me.
One girl just gave me some pussy, and I said, "Hey, can I have some head?" She's like, "Head? That's intimate." I said, "What?"
This is what I feel like. I feel like
I talked to you yesterday.
So like
last week, and now we here.
I kind of get some people who feel like certain things should be in a relationship, but this is my thing. Yeah. And goes back to like a lot of people feel like with sex, to have great sex, it means a relationship. If you letting somebody stick your dick in them, but you can't talk to them, that's an issue.
I mean, yeah, but that goes back to the whole stability thing. Yeah. Just like I told you, people want that stable household, then go do all that exploring, which again counterproductive, or maybe you just want your cake and eat it too. But that's normally the time afterwards that start. And my thing is, because again, I kind of want to come to a resolution, because I'm all about solutions. Because if you ain't got no solution, why you worried about it? Because again, you seem like you do fairly well with the ladies. How do we get more women open in a space to be more themselves? Because majority of women I meet, I feel like it's just a cool representative. I don't care what part of the world I go to.
You want to meet them and not the representative.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if I meet the real you and the real you ain't for me, cool. But I feel like on average, I don't get a real person I'm talking to. I get a representative, and like I said, when it comes to narcissism, okay, what can I get out of you? What can we do for each other? Where is this going that's going to benefit me? I feel like it's that versus an actual connection. How can I get a woman out of that space, or is that just who they are?
I think you have to allow a chance to build to where they feel comfortable. For some women, like some women are cool with, if you ask them, "Hey, yo, drop all that. Just tell me who you are." Yeah. They'll come with that. But for some women, there's so much craziness out here that I kind of understand it, of being reserved to show the real you sometimes for women. Fair. Because I feel like a lot of women ultimately just want to feel that they're not going to be judged, and want to feel like you're actually interested in them. So that sometimes takes time, because not everyone has the ability to just say, "All right, I'm finna just be me around this moment." And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not judging it as right or wrong. But I just in being honest with where some people are, sometimes it takes time to get to know the real person.
Okay. Back to you. What type of women do you attract, and what type of women do you want but haven't received yet?
I attract all different types of women. So I don't, at least unless I'm missing something, I haven't seen like just a specific spectrum or part of the spectrum that comes to me. And as far as like want to look, I just be genuine. That's the biggest thing to me.
Good luck.
Is
good love. Genuine. That's because let's take gender out of it. That's a sale.
Genuine people are hard as fuck to come, but that's why like the genuine people that I do come across, I hold on to them like,
for life.
Yeah, for real. And that's friends. That's like coworkers or anything.
I had the same. I didn't have no side chick, but the same chick. We stopped fucking, but I kept her around for 10, 11 years. I was like, oh, nah, I can't lose this. and I don't want this pussy to hit the streets. Look,
that's a whole different conversation. But
that's real.
I mean, hey, I know I applaud you. Like we said, be genuine, right?
Yeah.
And you're being genuine with how you feel about it. So,
yeah. But again, what type of women do you that's still on the bucket list or activity wise? It's still on the bucket list.
I don't really have a bucket list as far as sexual activity. I don't.
If it comes, it comes.
If
right?
it comes, it comes. And that's not to say I've done a lot. I haven't done everything, but at this point, it's just if it comes, it comes. I know in my relationship certain things that I need, right?
Yeah,
and I'm going to be honest with that. But as far as like things on the bucket list, no, I don't have a bucket list.
Okay, and then we're gonna get back. What type of chicks are automatically off the list? If they come to you with X, Y, and Z, you're gone.
If they have ugly ass feet.
Okay, nigga, goddamn. What is it? No. Let's stay on this real quick. Why? Well, like, what is that?
Because I love feet.
I mean, I respect that, but if your legs in the air, I ain't never fucking a chick, and I was like, yeah. Is that your feet?
I look at the feet beforehand. Like, seriously.
Why?
Because that's something that I require.
I mean, agreed. I respect it, but why? I'm curious where that started from.
I don't know. I always say this.
Even with your wife?
I didn't choose
with your wife,
feet. Feet chose me.
This nigga here.
Absolutely.
Even with your wife?
Yeah.
Was that the reason for the divorce? She was like, you know what? I'm not getting my feet done no more and fuck your beard. Is that what she?
No, I mean that's the thing. It's not about getting your feet done. It's having pretty feet. So even if they're done or not, if them motherfuckers look like you've been climbing boulders with billy goats, I can't do nothing with that.
What? On average, how many women feet are that fucked up? On average,
a lot. When it's something you pay attention to,
because I pay attention too.
No, bro, the toenail on your pinky toe.
When
the pinky toe is doing,
are you serious? Is that serious?
When two of your toes are throwing up the crip sign, yeah.
Is that serious?
Is that serious?
Listen,
is that real?
Listen, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. No. So I'm not doing that much investigating. As long as you got a clean bill of health, I got it on paper, and I don't see nothing active. Something coming out. Some gangrene in this bitch.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm with you because again, I'm on that same wave, but I'm on the lesser end. As long as they clean before we do something.
Well, see, and I'm not even on hot because you got the people who get turned on by the smell of like stinky feet. Like I'm not nearly on that spectrum. Okay. I just like pretty feet.
So would you buy feet pics?
No, hell no. Why? When I get them sent to me freely, I ain't
Okay, that's fair. But okay, what about body types? What type of?
I don't have a body type.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Me. It's either BBW and not like the BBW with like who's no shape. Like she's so fat she got her own shape. Like I'm talking about like an actual curve and actual everything else.
I mean, we're talking about
like a caramel big breast.
I mean, just off body type. So this isn't about face. I'm strictly off body type. This isn't about facial features or anything.
Okay.
I'm anywhere on the spectrum from Jill Scott to Jhene Aiko. That's where I'm on the spectrum.
I know this is gonna sound fucked up,
uh-huh.
but if I fuck with a skinny chick, it's probably due to box. Her box is amazing. Cause I don't need her huge as shit, but I need her at least. Okay, who's a good starting point? Oh, what's her name? That old model who was on American Top Model.
Eva Pickford.
Yeah, from there to Bria Majors.
Oh yeah.
So right there.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that.
That's
spectrum.
a good. That's my spectrum.
Nice range. That's a nice range.
Yeah, it's not like
it's not super restrictive.
Yeah, it's not like oh I gotta be at the gym all day because who the fuck am I gonna check you on?
Yeah.
But at the same time it's like okay I don't want like no shade, but you notice like on my 600-pound life nobody's single like that end of the spectrum. Oh. Like if we go there, no, but right there, okay. Man, I want to wrap this up because I feel like I had a good time. Got to know you. Got to figure out my bullshit. I'm gonna tell these ladies. But final advice: give some sex advice to the guys and the ladies. Ladies first, of course.
I think I can knock them all out with the same thing.
Okay.
If you enjoy it, embrace it. don't hide away from it because of what the stigma around it is.
Okay.
And that it's not something that I enjoy. But for example, if you a dude and you like getting pegged, that's what you like. Embrace that shit.
Listen,
Now, it's not for me, but if that's what you like, who are you to deny what you like? That's my opinion.
You know what? Okay. And then thank you for those words. Those are really respectful. As a guy, I mean, because me, I'm all about masculine. I'm not, because again, I said this a couple of episodes, I'm trying to find my lane of masculine. So therefore, when I have a son or something, or you maybe a nephew or something, we can talk about that. But on a masculine frame type conversation, how you toot your ass up as a man and be like hard about it, spread your cheeks and be like, yeah, but you know I'm in control though. But like, how you like? I think
like
I don't know about that.
Your sexual desires aren't tied necessarily to your masculinity in the world, and I truly believe that. And I understand if you disagree. I'm not judging you if you disagree, but I feel like what you do in the bedroom, that's between you and the person you doing it with. More times than not, most people won't even know what you do in the bedroom. So you can't judge someone because we don't know. For all we know, Jay-Z could be tooting that ass up for Beyonce 3 times a week. We don't know.
Listen,
so it's not tied to your masculinity because we don't know.
Here's why I disagree. Sex is about power, pleasure, and mental stimulation. Period. And
so do you feel like if you give up power, it makes you less masculine?
Yes.
Okay, that's where fundamentally our mindsets are different. Okay. And I'm not saying one way is right or wrong, because I feel like your power isn't just like, for example, Clinton was the most powerful person in the world when he was president, right?
Yeah.
We all know Hillary ran that shit.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I mean, if your wife's better at doing your job, hey.
But I'm just saying that I don't think that your power dictates how, because in giving up power, you're more powerful. If that makes sense. If you can make somebody else, just because you're giving up temporarily somebody to feel in control about something, that's still you decided to give that up. So you still hold the power. You know
what? That makes sense because when white supremacists have sex, like in the cockholing fetish, everything's allowed through them. So nothing happens without their
that they don't want to happen. Yeah.
You know what? That's a new perspective, and I thank you for it. Hey man, I want to thank my guests for coming in today, man. It was a short episode, but we hit all the high points. Let them know all your social media, all your platforms, and again, this is episode gonna be posted, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now. So any projects in April or anything in the summer coming up or anything you would like to tell the people?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me personally at CEO Haze. That's CEOHAIZE on every social media platform. You can follow, so I have 4 different podcasts, but if you just go to thebreaksmedianetwork.com, you can find all my podcasts right there. And as far as anything I have coming up, I do have like this Rip the Runway type fashion show with Columbus artists and Columbus designers, because we have a lot of clothing designers in Columbus. That was supposed to happen at the end of March. It's gotten pushed back. No firm date on it. So if you check my social media, once we announce the date, that's where you can find that.
Hey man, it's your boy Darnell, Talkin Greasy. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. Also, if you would like to be a guest on the show, hit us up at talkingreasy@gmail.com. Also, if you would like to advertise the show, again, because your ass couldn't hear, talkingreasy@gmail.com. And my personal is Twitter, Instagram, and on Snapchat is Darnell Does It. And it ain't easy. Talking Greasy. We out.